Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 for some more multiplayer racing. For this session we are racing vehicles fitted with 6-cylinder engines. Now they could be a straight 6, a V6, a flat 6, whatever they might have 6 cylinders. Now I have gone for, it's a bit of a mad one. It's Nissan Sentra. It is still front wheel drive. And it has the engine from a GTR in it. So I have 570 odd horsepower. The car weighs 2,500 pounds. Power to weight ratio in this thing is very high. The tyres are not very big. I have got the rally tyres on it. I mean, they're not a bad sort of tyre. This thing, I suspect, is going to be a bit of a monster down the straights. And a bit of a handful in the corners because, well, it's front-wheel drive with quite a lot of power. I mean, there'll probably be a couple of cars in here that will have more than I have, but, yeah, I don't know. I do like running front-wheel drive. I've talked about it before. I do like front-wheel drive in Horizon 5. I even like it, definitely B-Class, very, very powerful. I even like it in A-Class. This is pushing the limits of what is probably going to be usable. I don't know. We are going to be, of course, quite bad off the line. With front-wheel drive, there are going to be all-wheel drive and so on. With front-wheel drive with a lot of power and not actually particularly big tyres. Now you see, once it gets going, the Sentra is a little rocket ship. That's the plan, at least. Hopefully, basically, it is good enough through the corners. Oh, that's a lot of understeer. Christ, the on-power understeer is going to be absolutely horrific, basically. But that's fine. This track, I mean, there's parts of this circuit that are going to be really dicey. Oh, God, like here. God, I cannot go near the throttle in third gear without the car actively wanting to murder me. Right, speed. Use the power of the... Oh, wow, I absolutely lag-murdered a Maserati. I am sorry about the murder. I can't really do much about that. There was a little Nissan-sized gap that I went for. I mean, the Maserati got off it relatively well. There was another car that was unfortunately quite brutally murdered by the Maserati. That is one of the most ridiculous lag pings I think I've ever seen. It literally just fired the Levante about. Can I be flat through there? Yeah, actually, I've got decent turning grip in this car. The front end does get turned in. It's the on-power understeer that is the really difficult part to deal with. I mean, that's to be expected, right? It is you're asking an astronomical amount of the front tyres. I mean, I've got max tyre widths, but they're just not very big. Oh, the Lotus found the tyre bundle on the outside there. That is unfortunate. Right, we're up into the podium spots. Also, I should point out, this livery, I didn't make it. I wish I could. Fantastic livery. It is one of the favourite liveries that I have come across. It is really, really well done. Anyone who knows your Super Touring cars will know where this is from. So we have got an Alfa Romeo behind us. I mean, I feel like we're not too... Oh, look at how far we can pull on the pack. So the Alfa, I will presume, it has a similar amount of power to us. It will probably have that 500 and near 600 horsepower, but we will be way lighter than the Giulia. We will be way, way lighter. Now this track, if we're going to be good somewhere, here is one of the tracks where we should be quite good at. We should be able to make the most of our straight line speed. We do lose a lot in this mid-sector. Can't really do much about that. It's trying to put the power down. Third gear is just wheel spin central. Fourth gear, it grips up and goes. The Alfa going to catch a little bit through here, and then we are going to hopefully run away by the time. See, we aren't too bad through this corner. This corner's all right. We can just kind of coast it through, and then we can jump on the throttle. See, the Alfa's right there, and off we go again with the rocket ship. It's not quite as fast as not quite as good out of that final corner as it was last time around. Now, the Alfa's actually, I say it's not ditching the Alfa as much as I would like it to. I don't think we're a million miles off the cars ahead. I think we're just all kind of spread out and no one's really gaining or losing on anybody. I've just got to be so careful through here. I do wonder whether maybe just leaving my car in fourth is going to be the way to go. I don't know. Maybe not through here. But third gear is just a wheel spin gear for me. I wish that lamppost would stay knocked down, because I don't quite have the traction and grip to put my car where it wants to be through there. The Alpha is giving us grief back there. We've got to be aware of that. We can't afford to make any errors through this final corner. The Alpha can look. I'm not too fussed about that. It's been a bit of a scruffy lap from me. We've lost a little bit of ground on the leaders there, although both of those cars are also very quick down the straight. I mean, we're quick, but down this straight, but we're actually not fast enough to really catch them. Now, the best hope for me is that we're going to somehow be better handling than them. So I don't quite know how that's going to work. Because we're obviously not quick enough down the straight to just breeze up to them. We're quick enough down the straight to annoy an Alfa Romeo through here. This is not really where I wanted to catch the skyline. We can go around the outside. Yeah, fourth gear is the way to go through that section. So yeah, I think fourth gear is the gear to be in. I think Shadow may have got tangled. That is very unfortunate for Shadow there. We will run into the final corner, boot it on the exit. I mean, it's a good start. I'm happy enough with the start, considering I'm being a lunatic and running way too much power in a front-wheel drive. It's a solid start. Better final lap. I think there was a bit more pace in that car than I was probably getting out of it. I think we were probably very similar to the Silvia. I don't think we could quite match the MX-5 at the front. Yeah, it was about right. Similar to the Silvia. I mean, we're all pretty close. The top 5, very, very similar in lap times. I mean, it's within half a second, basically, between all of us. 5 very different cars. An MX-5, a Silvia, a front-wheel drive Sentra, and then we've got the 2 modern cars, a Giulia and the Amira. It's a real interesting selection up at the front. Yeah, I'll take a podium. Honestly, the fact that we're getting this front-wheel drive to work, I am happy about. And yeah, I will take that podium. We head to the Plaza circuit for our next race. I don't know about this one. Well, we're a long way back. We are going to be last by turn 1. This is probably not going to be great for me. I like the track, however, the nature of it will not suit the Sentra. It's decent at higher speed corners. We don't really have them here. There's a lot of stop-starty corners. I will not have the traction. We are just going to spin the wheels. We are probably going to... I might try the whole sit in fourth and hope. We'd have a lot of acceleration in a couple of places that we might be able to use. Who knows, really. Yeah, this is unlikely to be the Sentra's strong suit, but you never know. Right, we will do what we can with the car. Like, through turn 1, it's probably not going to be too bad. God, like the on-power understeer through there. Admittedly, the tyres are cold. Oh, we got street furniture. Lovely. That is really the start that you want in an already very difficult to drive car. We got off the line better than I kind of expected in some ways, but then street furniture has really scuppered us. Speed Beast's Mazda is in the middle of a lot of cars. We are trying to sneak our way past the Levante. You might be able to do down here, to be honest. Shadow is in a bit of bother. We're trying to make a sneaky pass on the Alpha. I mean, I think the Giulia could be quite fast. However, this is... yeah, you're in the pack. You can already see how far the front cars are away already. Like, that's not great. It's really not great. However, we will do everything we can here with our vehicles. So Speed Beast has a lot of grip, I think, but no straight line speed. We are going to outrun the pair of them up the hill. Shadow's looking the long way around. Unfortunately, there's a Buick to run into. Speed Beast is giving us a helping hand through there. Hello, Buick. Don't mind me. I have a rocket under the bonnet, and we are off. See, that is... I don't normally build power cars on this game. I honestly struggle to get the most out of them. They don't seem to suit my driving on this game as they have in previous ones. This is one of the 5. It's not, like, absurdly fast. It's quick, but it's not truly insane in a straight line. But it makes life a bit easier for me. I mean, I've talked about this in the past. I'm normally the other way around, but when you have that bit of straight line speed, just overtaking is easier for me, right? I don't have to do some fancy maneuver in a braking zone. All I have to do is stay close enough to the car ahead, and I will probably be able to pass it down a straight. It means, like, it's not to say this is any easier, you know, it might be slightly easier to overtake, but it does mean I have to be absolutely perfect through this section with a car that's very uncooperative, in this case, with an absolute mountain of understeer. I do not want to try and go around the outside here. Well, that's why, because we're going to get barreled into by everybody. Yeah, I mean, Speed Beast and Shadow to an extent are both massively out-turning us, but now we're coming to the section where they don't really like, and we are going to stick in fourth and just boot it up a hill. Unfortunately, so yeah, and that is the downside, is that if we can't clear the Porsche quickly, we end up in a very awkward spot. Speed Beast can go around the outside, I don't really care, because we're going to get on the power on the exit, and we're off. And we are away from the Mazda. Now, I need to pass this port. I really need to pass it down start-finish straight, basically. No chance at a podium here. Whether we probably don't have the pace, but even if we did, it's irrelevant. We've lost so much time fighting in the traffic that there's nothing that we can do here. We can, oh god, outbrake the Porsche. I think the Porsche wanted to cut back underneath us on the exit, which is a sensible manoeuvre. They just misjudged it and ended up bumping us forward rather than going underneath. Right, we're up to fifth, but we are going to have to deal with Speed Beast and Shadow, basically. Well, I mean, they're going to have to also deal with a very annoying Nissan that is going to be in the way. I mean, because we're still front-wheel drive, they do have the advantage on traction. So we do have the acceleration, but it's difficult, and it takes a while to really have it working anywhere. Speed Beast is going to get up the inside, so he's a little jittery, but this perhaps to be expected. And off we go again. You've got to bear in mind, you may be able to brake a lot later than me, but if you're right on my bumper, I have got to brake where I have to brake. There is a little bit of decent going on, though, with the Mazda, so can't... Yeah, there's only so much that they can do, of course. We are understeering out of the final quarter, not even penultimate. That section, I mean, we don't even have to break down this part. There's too much understeer from me. Can we catch the Beamer for fourth? We've got a lap to do it. Can we catch the Beamer for fourth? Can we hold off the horde behind? Is a really good question. I think we are a little faster than the BMW, helped by some street furniture causing grief there. We are over the bump. I mean, yeah, this car is not fast around this track. We have been in battles, though. To be fair, I would rather be in this fight than be running around at the front on my own. However, it was always going to be a really difficult circuit for us. One thing I've got to be aware of is the Mazda may be able to make the most of me battling with the BMW. Could not get my car alongside. We have got the run here. The BMW got some oversteer. Me leaving it in fourth worked through there. I don't know if it's going to work through here. We will defend the inside. Come on. Yeah, fourth works, I think. It's a little bit sluggish out of that one. Maybe third is needed on that corner. The rest of that section, fourth gear, was the charm. We will run up the hill. We've had a great fun race in all of this. Now we've just got to round off the next couple of corners. Yeah. Front-wheel drive was always going to struggle around here. We were stuck in the traffic for a while, so we never even really got a clean lap to see if we could have possibly matched the top. Poor Speed Beast has got to try and find a way past. That Mazda is going to have had a frustrating time. That's normally me, to be fair, with the handling car stuck behind acceleration machines. I mean, there's probably more speed, and there would have been lap time-wise because we were stuck fighting most laps. Let's see what the lap times of the vehicles ahead are. There's always, Jesus, 23. Yeah, we're not catching that. I think we could have probably got into the 20. I think we could have maybe got a little bit similar to the Silvia. Maybe got a little bit closer. Yeah, Sentra was fun. It was mad, and we had a great fight in the mid-pack. We are off to the Tierra Pr circuit for our next race. Not a bad spot on the grid for me. The problem is we dropped down. This track actually could be quite good for my car. There's a couple of twisty sections, but a lot of the corners are high speed, and that should work for the Sentra. Once we're at the higher speeds, we get less of the wheel spin, essentially. We know we're quite fast in a straight line. this might not be too bad at all for the Sentra. I mean, it's always awkward getting this going. There's only so much we can really do about that. Yeah, it is what it is, essentially. Hopefully, after the poor start, we're going to be quick enough to make our way back through the pack. I really need to. I'm so instinctively used to going down the gears and whatnot. I really need to go down and leave it in fourth. I need to make a mental note to not go any lower than fourth, because just leave it in a higher gear than I think I need it to be in. This is a really funky line. We have the grip to sneak it, and I mean we have got away. The problem is the Levante is so big and awkward. We're going for a cutback on that. We will outrun the Beamer up the hill. The Porsche is about to come undone with some very fast vehicles in a straight. Although the Porsche is no slouch. It's not going to have a huge amount of power, but it is very, very light. Unfortunately, we're a little bit stuck behind it. We should now be clear. The big downside for me is because we lose so much time off the line. Even though we've not had the worst first lap, we're just so far back. And it's so difficult to make up that time around this. Okay, when the cars are pretty evenly matched, when everything is pretty close, trying to make up that much time is always difficult. We could go fourth there on the exit. Yeah, it works. It does. It feels like it's a little slow initially accelerating, but the other option is third and Wheelspin, which is just as slow. And fourth and being slightly off boost is a bit more manageable than third and Wheelspin. So I think that's going to be the way to go. Ignore the plumes of tyre smoke coming off the slightly laggy cars in front. Porsche is not actually smoking its tyres so badly. Alright, we are on the hunt as we climb up the hill. Can we do anything about... Well, I think we've got the pace on the 911 here. Where we're going to find a way past, I don't know. The MX-5 looks a bit more of a handful around this. I didn't really ever see it at the arch. It was in front, but yeah, we didn't really get to see it. Oh, that was a kiss on the wall right there. And we're all pushing it through there. Ollie was out wide and in the wall. The Porsche is understeering like crazy. We are going to make the most of that opportunity, and we are going to fire the Sentra through, up into fourth. Unfortunately, again, I don't think we're going to quite be able to get a podium here with just the way the gaps are. Unless Ollie makes a mistake somewhere. I think the Mazda's got a tiny bit of pace on us. Oh, it will do if I do that too often. That has left it too late to turn in down that section. Oh, Ollie with a snap of oversteer in that. I mean, the MX-5 is certainly not easy to drive. It's probably, well, I'm going to guess it's even lighter than this. With a good chunk of power. It's going to be twitchy, the small cars can be. The Silvia's worked its way through the pack as well. Back there. Oh, there is a whole load of understeer for me. Once we get it hooked up, to be fair, I'm sure there are faster ways to drive and build this car. It's certainly not the easiest thing in the world to coax around a lap of a circuit. Oh, that's fine. We are through there quite nicely. I mean, yeah, the main concern is the Silvia. I don't think it's going to have the time in the race to catch us, even if it might have the pace, as long as I don't do anything stupid like that, for example. We've got a bit scruffy end. I mean, we got through the pack quite well, but the field has sort of just ended up in its kind of positions. We will be nice and careful through there. And again, through the next one. Just don't do anything silly. Don't get on the power too soon. Don't spin up the wheels. Ollie is catching Shadow. And I think we are a little... I think me and the Alpha are very similar in terms of pace. The Mazda just a smidge faster. The Mazda looks lethal through these corners. Now, it may be a little bit of lag, but that Mazda looks like it wants to be a twitchy death machine. It really does not look easy to drive. We are around the final corner. There's probably a bit more speed in that car if I can get it hooked up a smidge better. I mean, I'm happy enough with fourth in that we just lose so much off the start. Yeah, we're very similar. We're very evenly matched with the Alpha. The Mazda's a little bit quicker, but looks difficult. The Silvia at similar pace as well. So the other MX-5 is an all-handling Mazda. Wasn't as far off as I thought it might be around that track. 'Cause of course, the high-speed corners, it will be able to carry a lot of momentum through there. Well, not quite a podium, but another good race. We are off to the festival circuit for our next race. We were a long way back on the grid, but we were always going to end up here regardless. I mean, if the car's going to work somewhere, this is probably the sort of place it should. The issue is how much time do we have to make up, really. Me and, well, Ollie's MX-5 are back here. I don't think we're quite quick enough. I don't think we're quite quick enough in a straight line. I don't think we're quite quick enough in a straight line to be the fastest car overall regardless. But it's especially problematic when we are last already. We can hopefully make up some places here though, because as I said, once we're up to speed, we do have an alright amount of grip. And we should have the acceleration now to fend off those cars. So it's actually, as starts go, I mean, it's not as good as leading the race. That could have gone worse. Speed Beast is going to have a torrid time here. This is not the track for Speed Beast's Mazda. We've got a good run here, but I got nowhere to go at all. They are 3 wide in front of me. So what on earth can you do, really? I wanted to duck underneath everybody, couldn't do it because they were all squabbling and there was not going to be any space for us. We just spat out the other side and we are going to carry a huge amount of momentum towards this penultimate corner. Speed Beast can run that high line, don't really care. I mean, they'll have the grip to keep the place, won't matter, because here comes the Sentra. The Sentra of power is going to have a little bit of a panic because the final corner is difficult at that tight angle, but we made it work. We are past the Mazda squad. Right, time to chase after the top 3. Do we have more straight line speed than all of them? If yes, there's a chance because we've had an astonishingly good first lap. God, we understeer like a boat through there compared to the cars in front. The first sector of the lap's probably not going to be great for us. If they fight each other, that is good news for us here because they can really squabble. Now, I'm hoping Ollie, if we don't slow Ollie down too much through the corners, Ollie might be happy to stay behind and work to try and catch the group ahead. I don't know if I'm going to have much of a choice in the matter, though. I don't really want third gear. I mean, I kind of do want third gear, but it's just going to be Wheelspin gear, so fourth it is, and it gets going well enough. Jeez. The Silvia was slightly slow coming out of that corner, and suddenly the Nissan is there. We are on the wider line. We should outrun the Silvia to the final corner. Here it goes. Warp Drive is so fast towards this final corner. Now, what we might have done to Shadow is just put Shadow out of position slightly, but it's not quite going to be enough. Yeah, we are definitely strongest out of that sort of penultimate corner towards the final corner is the best bit on the track for us. Everywhere else we kind of struggle. Well, not kind of struggle, but we do struggle elsewhere. The Silvia found a way past, but we are probably going to be able to retake it at some point down one of these straights. Oh, did not want an MX-5 shoving its nose there. We are going to be 3 wide on the exit here. We should outrun the Mazda, and we do. We will get to the inside of the Silvia. Oh, but it's not really the line I want through that corner. I think the Lotus has got this. Well, we are having a wonderful battle. Oh, the Silvia had a bit of trouble somewhere there. This is definitely, I mean, of the tracks, this is always going to be the place that was going to work for my rocket ship. We are out of the penultimate corner, and there goes the power of the Sentra. We are up into second place. We've got to be careful, though, because the Alpha's pretty good around that final corner. Can we get across to defend? We can. We will have to force Shadow to go a long way around, and I've got to make sure I don't leave a gap underneath because the Alpha will want to have a look. It can look there because I can now jump on the power. We're going to get a bit of understeer, we're going to get a bit of wheel spin, but we are clear of the Alpha. I like this car. I do like the Sentra. It's a bit mad. I mean, I could have actually built it with even more power. I went for weight reduction instead of power in this one because, honestly, 800 horsepower is fun, but I doubt that would have been very controllable. So I went for the £2,500 car with 570. It's great. It is mad in a straight line, but it's not quite. It's mad in a straight line, but it's still controllable enough still controllable enough that I'm able to mostly make the most of it. I'm sure a better driver, a better tuner could actually build this better than me. Oh, you absolute plank! I was expecting the understeer. I was expecting it to just understeer me into the... so I turn in really early through there because I know the car's going to understeer wide. I'm so annoyed with myself. The track where we had probably the second... We were probably the closest to the Lotus. Although the Lotus wasn't actually very good at the arch circuit, although it did get stuck in traffic. But yeah, the track where our car was phenomenal, and I hiss it away like an absolute idiot. With having done all the really hard work. Oh, I got a lot of understeer. I think there was a little bit of desync with the BMW as well. It looked like it wasn't technically alongside it, it looked like we were ending up pushing it, so I'm going to hazard a guess. Some desync. I might be able to get the 911 before the finish line, to be honest, because we are so quick down this section. Whoa. No, not if I do that, though. No, we won't. Messed up that corner. It was always going to be a bit of a tall order, but that has really not helped. Oh, the Speed Beast has gone and done it as well on the final lap, where we get A position. I'm so annoyed at myself. The car was good there. The car was great there. We worked really, really hard. We did all the hard stuff, and then we pissed away what was a good chance at a second place, or it should have been a second place, really. The MX-5 was pretty quick as well around there. Bloody hell. For our final race, we head to the Estadio circuit. We might start on the front row, but it doesn't matter. I know, when we've had the great disconnection, well, there's a chance. We're still going to deal with an MX-5 that's going to be ahead of us by turn 1. I love this track. It won't be the worst for my car. The big problem part is going to be out of turn, well, it's going to be sort of turn 2, turn 3 going up the hill. It's not going to like that. It's going to understeer like crazy. And we're going to struggle coming out of the final corner. And of course, my car's main strength is going to be its straight line speed. And we can't use it very well coming out of the final corner because everything's putting its power down better than me. So, yeah, there's... As much as I love this track, it is going to be a difficult one, I think, for us. Although we aren't too bad off the line this time. I mean, it's not great, but we only lost a couple of places off the line. So it could have gone a lot worse. We didn't quite drop as far back as some of the cars I have used. Oh no! Don't miss a checkpoint. We got the checkpoint. I just lost all my good. My not awful start has been slightly undone by the fact that I almost turned in again too soon. So I think with this car is at high speed, it has actually got a lot of grip. At low speed, I mean, it's got a lot of grip. It is the wheel spin that its main problem is. And when you're attacking these higher speed corners, it's really easy to expect a lot of understeer, and it actually doesn't have it anywhere near as much. You've just got to be careful. The Porsche can have a look, but you're not going to find anything through there. Fourth gear, I think, is just going to be where we're at. Now, if the Silvia and Mazda have a fight, that could help get me back into this after my poor start. That could really, really help. Jeez. We are catching very rapidly through there. No, let's just leave it in fourth. Don't go down to third. Just leave it in fourth is the way to go. I need to clear the Silvia. I'm now really wary, and I'm taking slightly too conservative lines through some of these corners. It's just what we're going to have to do, I think, in all of this. The rocket ship is firing on all engines down here. Not really going to be able to do very much, though. This is the problem. Through most of this lap, I can't really overtake. We're going to get a bit of understeer through there. It's going to have to be turn 1 to pass the Silvia. So I've got to be good through here, get a good exit out of this corner, which I'm hoping we can do. Really straighten up for the exit. Oh, there we go. And hope that the Silvia can just carry so much speed. So it takes so long for us to now get up to speed that the Silvia might be able to be far enough away. Again, we are incoming at a vast amount of speed here and not going to be able to hold it on the outside. Always a difficult one to pull off. Now, if I can get this corner right, there might be a chance for us before the chicane, because if we can put the power down now, car goes light going up the hill and just wants to spin its wheels. Ollie's run away at the front with the MX-5. It's too quick for us here. Probably not a big surprise yet. See, we're catching, but what can I do through here? There's nothing going to work through this section. So it's all going to come down to, I need to get out of the final corner really well, and I need the Silvia to make a little mistake through here or get crossed up or something. Can we not do that? I think we're going to have to. I'm going to try a different line next lap around. I don't know whether it's going to work, but we're going to try a different line and see what might happen. We're running pretty good lap times here. Sylvia is going to leave the door open. We're going to dive, but we're going to stop it in time. Sylvia saw that one coming. It knew exactly what to do. I mean, the reason... So I didn't think that pass was ever going to work, because I expected the Sylvia to do a cutback. But what I've done, what I'm hoping it's going to do, is it's going to slow the Sylvia's lap time down. So now the Sylvia... Now we're closer here, but what can I do here? I can't pass down this section, so we are just going to be stuck following it into the chicane once more. This time it's not bad from me. Sylvia pretty good as well. Are we going to be close enough to maybe make that dive into turn 1 work? Right, so the line that I was going to try taking here, I'm going to go really far to the left, really try to straighten up for the exit so I can get on my power sooner. It's still just struggling. We are closer this time around. The Sylvia might be in trouble here, because it's going to go across early. It knows it's in trouble as well here, because we should be clear into the braking zone. Now the only issue is I'm going to have to defend through twisty stuff and not leave the door open. The Sylvia's there. It's looking... We're on a very tight line here. The Sylvia's got the grip to make that one work. However, now we've got the power and we're a lot closer than we've ever been down here. We are going to have to send it into the chicane, I think. We might be able to make this work before the chicane. It's around the outside for the Sentra, but I don't have the grip to make that one work. Oh, the Sylvia's back in front, and we are out of time. I think we're out of options, out of places, because the Sylvia's very good through this next section, and we will not be able to get our power down in time to do anything. Although, Sylvia... Oh, that was a little bit... it was a little bit cheeky. Sylvia's going to get it there. Can we outrun it to the line? It is a drag race now. It is a drag race for this one. Sylvia's going to give us a squeeze. We're going to do it. It was a little bit cheeky. There was a bit of a bump. Yeah. The door was open. We kind of nudged. We nudged the door open a little bit more, just to yeah, it was a little bit of a sneaky pass on that one. No one had an answer to the MX-5. That thing was very quick. I mean, we were having a bit of a tussle over. I think probably me and the Sylvia could have maybe got a little. I don't think we could have had an answer for the MX-5, but yeah, we were fighting a bit on that one. I mean, it was great fun. It was great fun. I really like that Sentra. It's not the best car I've ever made, and I'm sure with a bit of know-how and a bit of tweaking to either my driving style, setup, and all of that, that could be blisteringly quick. It's difficult to drive, but not too crazy, and it is an absolute rocket ship in a straight line. I'm just really still annoyed at myself about the festival track, but that is how it goes sometimes. I like the car, good fun. That, though, is going to be it for this video. If you would like to sign up, take part in the next one of these, you can via our Discord. There will be a link in the description. Find the Versus Community sign-up section, and you can register to take part in there. That, though, shall be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.